Hello again, it's Big Fizz MTG here, doing another EDH deck tech. Last one ran a little bit long, so I'm going to try and shorten this one up. The deck I am teching today is my Melek Paragon deck. As you can tell from the two cards in front of you right now, Grape Shot and Melek. For those of you that don't know, Melek is basically reveal the top card of your library. You may cast it. If you do, you may copy and cast it again. This is my attempt at a Storm deck. Grape Shot obviously being one of the main win cons. Some of the other main win cons I have in here are Niv Mizzet, because, you know, if you're storming, you're going to be drawing a lot of cards and a lot of things. So whenever you draw a card, you get to ping someone for one. So Niv Mizzet's another win con. Psychic Spiral, you're going to be dumping pretty much your entire graveyard, or entire deck into your graveyard, and you don't just want to be milled out. So Psychic Spiral is another win con. Gutter Snipe, nothing says Storm better than Gutter Snipe. 2 damage a spell to each opponent. Runechanter's Pike. This saw play in Standard. Really good in this deck. Basically, you equip it to a creature and you go, hey, look, I suddenly have a 48X creature with First Strike. You want to block? And then finally, Sphinx Moanwand. This is one of the funner cards in here. Basically, every time you cast a spell, put a counter on it, and then you get to deal damage to creature or player equal to the number of counters on it. With a deck like this, you want to be running a lot of cantrips. So I tend to run a lot of cantrips. I'm just gonna, not all of them are 1 mana, but I'm just gonna be showing you how I cycle through. And then Visions of Beyond, most of the time you won't cast it until you have 20 in your graveyard, but that's not too hard. This deck also, like my Progenitus deck, doesn't run very many creatures, but the ones that do are really good. Aside from Gutter Snipe, we have these creatures. Dig. Makes all your sorcery basically instants. I've actually won on other people's turn because of this card. It's really fun. Oh, I'm sorry. Dak Bane's in here too. Super good card. Basically, the only time I use him is to steal like a Guild Load or some kind of mana rock. Other than that, his +1 does let you Faithless Looting, so he's really good in here. Weed Dragnauts, yeah, pretty good. This is one that I've never seen anyone play, but I really love it in here. Spellheart Chimera. Goblin Electromancer really helps more or less with getting things out, casting more spells. And then good old Snappy to get you stuff back. Speaking of getting stuff back, you're going to need a couple of ways to get stuff back. I like to use Past in Flames. That's one of my main things to do. I generally use it when I High Tide, which is in the deck as well. You'll see it later. Merchant Scroll gets you what you need. Recoup gets things back from the graveyard. So is Mystic Retrieval. And then good old Mystical Tutor finds you what you need. On top of the cantrips, sometimes you just want to cast big draw card spells. So I tend to use these cards to get the extra card draw. Prophetic Bolt also is really good for dealing with things on the board. I also have a bunch of mana rocks and ways to get all these spells out faster. You can't go wrong with Lotus. Threat Dynamo is really good for getting out the other artifacts and just generally giving you that extra mana. Key Rune, Cluestone, Sculpting Steel lets you cast pretty much on the Guild Lotus or Dynamo. It can also be used to copy Sphinx Bone Wand, which is hilarious. Desperate Ritual is really good too. Lets you get your ramp on and throws a card in the graveyard. Is it Signet as well? High Tide, which is usually when you High Tide, you're gonna be winning the game that turn. Good old Soul Ring. And Arcane Melee. Instant and sorcery spells cost 2 less to cast. The only one I have in here. You also need some synergy cards in here in order to kind of hold the deck together. This one is really funny. Assault Strobe. It gives a creature double strike for 1 red. I mean, with that spell Heart Chimera up there or something equipped with the Rune Shatter's Pike, that's lethal. This is Increasing Vengeance. It's 2 cast it, copy spell. If you cast it from the graveyard with flashback, it's 5 mana. You get to copy it twice. So kind of helps you get there with the spells. Good old Epic Experiment too. This is the only deck I have actually ever used it in. I really loved the card. Really thought it was a fun card. So I threw it in there. I've actually won a couple of games with it too. High Tide, Epic Experiment, go in for the win. Rights Replication lets you either copy win cons from someone else, or it lets you throw out a whole bunch of Chimeras or a whole bunch of Gutter Snipes. Let me tell you, having out 6 Gutter Snipes and then casting 3 cantrips, it's kind of ridiculous. Stolen Identity, it's another good one. Cipher card out of Gatecrash. Copy anything, and whenever you deal damage, you get to copy it and put it in play as well. So usually this is just copying Mana Rocks or Sphinx Bone Wand or Rune Shatter's Pike or anything that's pertinent to the board. This is an old card, Agravian Restoration. It puts the artifact card from a graveyard into play. It's a really fun way to cheat in the Sphinx Bone Wand. Also lets you get back rocks if you want to sacrifice them. Gives you a little bit more synergy with them. Artful Dodge, that Assault Strobe with the Artful Dodge seems pretty good. Isochron, throw a cantrip on there. Always good. Good old Bolt. Good old Sea Rift, get that with your Merchant Scroll, give you a little protection. Devil's Play. Bonfire, you can set that up so easy. And Electrolyze. My mana base is fairly simple for this. I don't like to be countered with my what is it, Weird Wizard. So get a Cavern of Souls named Wizards. All the other creatures pretty much are wizards. So this gives you protection from counter spells. Got your duals, dual color ones. Thespian Stage, Temple. Only use Terramorphic and Evolving just to kind of thin out the library a little bit more. This is a Spanish Rogue's Passage. Another way, instead of casting Artful Dodge on something, you can just Rogue's Passage something. Reliquary Tower, because you will need this. And then a whole bunch of mountains and islands. Anyways, that's my deck tech for Mr. Melek. If you have any comments, suggestions, criticism, thoughts, more than open to them. I am working on foiling this deck out. If everything seemed a bit shiny, it's because I do have a large portion of these foiled out. Going to be a little bit harder getting them foil Snapcasters and Dak Fadens, but you know, got to work for something, right? Anyways, it's Big Fizz. Remember, stay strong. Game on.